Good evening, this is Nick Inman from VolumeProfileTrader.com on Tuesday, November 8th, and let's jump into the SP 500 here. So we finally broke out of the range that we've been stuck in for the last 3 days, and that's good news because now we're looking for more upside. So today the market had a mild gap open, and throughout the morning we closed the gap and then had a nice reversal off of yesterday's point of control. And from there made higher highs and higher lows and had a nice rally into the close. Now, one thing that is important is the point of control for the day formed at this 1273 level, really right at the top of the range. And that has me a little skeptical going into tomorrow that we've made a short-term top and may retrace some of this move. Consider the fact that we've gone from 1236 on the S&P to 1275 in 24 hours, 28 hours of trading. That's a pretty substantial move higher. People who have been along for that ride, they may be taking some profits into tomorrow if they didn't take it into the close. And the reason why is if I zoom out one, as we see here on a 30-minute chart, if you remember last week, prior to our breakdown, we had a consolidation pattern up at this 12, basically the bottom of the range of the consolidation range were today's highs. So people who bought in this range who didn't sell, they're going to be selling into this, and that's just something to be aware of. And you just want to recognize that we're going to have a range from around 1280 to 1275, and that's when and if the market gets into this range, that's going to be your reference point, to make your decisions. And remember from prior videos, well, just one thing before I give you another chart. 1282 looks like that gap, the gap close. So if you keep track of gaps, then 1282, plus or minus a point, that's your gap close. I want to zoom out one just so we can see what's going on in the daily time frame to see really where, if this market does break higher, where we really have some levels to look at. Okay, daily chart of the S&P 500. You can see, just looking, we had a nice bounce off of prior 3 months, the highs from the prior 3 months, resistance becomes support, and that's exactly what we saw. It just took a while for it to play out. And if you've been, last Tuesday, I believe it was, I called a market bottom, and I hope that you were along for that, because since then it's been a pretty nice move higher. You've just had to be patient for the move. So, in terms of targets, we see obviously these recent highs are important. This around 1287, 1290, that's, you can see on the volume composite, it sticks out relative to the others. And then other than that, 1305 up to 1335 with a significant amount of volume, really between 1330 and 1310. That looks like the real target where this market is going. And hopefully it does go there, because obviously we want to make some money. So as far as what your plan is for tomorrow, watch for a short-term top as we see the market has hit this point of control. It's formed a point of control at the top of the range, and although it did so here yesterday as well, it followed through into the close yesterday. Whereas, and let me get an example. Of course, I can't find an example, so next time we get an example, I will definitely point it out. But this generally speaks of a short-term top, depending on the time frame, but we're looking at very short-term time frame. So we're looking at a short-term top. It definitely looks like this 1256 to 1260 level will be support if we make a move lower. But the market is trending higher, so it's important to be on the right side of the trend, which is up. Now I want to cover GM because we covered it in last night's video, and if you can look up in the top right corner, GM was up over 4.29% today. So if you took my recommendation and CNBC Fast Money's recommendation to buy this, then you got paid off greatly today. It still looks like there's some upside in GM short term. I would say there is some resistance at, very short-term resistance at this 25 level, the highs of the day. But really, we're looking for $26, which is also the 50-day moving average, as a target. So stay long GM. You still have some profits, about $1 worth, but don't get greedy. If it does get up to those levels, go ahead and scale out and take some profits. You don't have to sell everything, but take some profits because it's good risk management. Okay, over the weekend I covered Priceline and saying that it was the options actions guys on CNBC. They put out a strategy, the 505 by 465 bull put spread, and they collected $19 on a $40 spread, so they risked, it was about a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio, and they got paid, for example, if you took this trade, you definitely got paid off, and Priceline looks like it's going to move higher. As I zoom out to the daily chart and remove some of these lines, you can see it's definitely messy, but what's going on here? We're seeing very nice, we had our consolidation, and it now looks like we're taking a move higher. If you just look at the volume profile chart, it looks like we had some serious volume within this range, and now we're getting, between this range and today, we're definitely seeing a breakout. So it's hard to buy up $43 or almost 9% for the day, and it's also hard to buy it because it's a $550 stock. But if you want to get involved, go ahead and buy one share and try to scale in over time. They reported earnings, I believe it was 65% top line growth and 75% bottom line growth year over year. That's pretty impressive. So even if there's an economic slowdown, they should still, I believe their PE ratio is around 17. They still should, it's a fairly cheap stock relative to their growth, even if they slow down. So I think this one still makes sense, and it's probably going to make highs going into the end of the year. Now, one other name I want to cover is First Solar, and I don't know anything about this company, but what I do find interesting is the chart that is being printed, and I think it's an opportunity to get long for a short-term move higher. And why I say that is because this point of control here, let me zoom out to a better chart. Okay, this is a better chart. This is 1 hour, 90 days. And what we're seeing here is, for a 3-month composite, we're seeing the point of control form at the bottom of the range, and we're looking really for a move higher, and our first target is the prior month's point of control, which is 54, so about 53.90 is a good limit price to have. But what's so nice about this stock is I think you can have your stop around just below 45.50, let's say, which was the recent lows last week, and that's about $2 risk for a potential of $6.50 reward. So let's call it a 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio. if this thing really gets going, which it looks like it has the potential to do, we are looking for, this thing could easily go to $60, and that's a huge move for only $2 risk. And I think that we're going to get an opportunity at this sooner rather than later. And if we don't, if this trade doesn't work out, you're only risking $2 of downside. So the reward, you can see it clear. The point of control around $54. We see our support, this point of control for the 3 months, and we're looking for this upside move. And if we don't get it, our stop can go right under the point of control around 45. You can have it even around 45.50, 45.60. You don't have to have it necessarily below 45.50. So hopefully this is a good trading idea. I'm already long this name from yesterday. I'm around a break even on this trade. I think I bought this about 10 cents higher. So it's not like, I'm in at the lows at 42.50. No, that's not how it works. You wait for the trade setup, you get it, and you take your trade as long as the risk reward is in your favor. And I think it is here, especially because we've seen this thing go from, just from 3 months, 134 down to, as a low, $42. So this thing's taken a beating, and it has a short ratio, days to cover, short days to cover, 5 days, I believe. So if this thing starts popping to the upside, we could see a nice bounce. One other thing that looks very intriguing is, I know these whole moving averages, they're moving straight down, but I really like the fact that they're sitting now below price, and price is right at the point of control. This is just chomping at the bit. I have a small placeholder position in this, so I'm not piled in, but if this thing gets going, feel free to add on to this and scale out into strength. It's a very fast mover, but I think it's a great opportunity. Okay, the last thing I wanted to talk about, it's nothing with the charts, it's just to talk about, the website that we're trying to put up, volumeprofiletrader.com. It's as close to being finished as we've seen. Just a few minor details that we have to finish, but by this weekend it will be done, and we will be accepting members. So if you want to go over there, go ahead and go over there and register. You can go ahead. We're going to have a free trial, 2 different memberships. Go ahead and check it out, see what they're about. There's still going to be more information to come, but I think it's going to be something really special, and my goal is just to provide the best resource for, traders who want to better themselves, because I know that's what I wanted when I first started trading. Even now, I just want to be the best trader I can be. And if that's your goal, and if that's what you want to do, then you're definitely in the right spot. And it's the price on the membership, it's going to be next to nothing compared to the value that's given. So you can go ahead and go over there now. I'm starting to post blogs, they're free, and you can just go over there, read them. I intraday post charts, stuff like that. For example, today I did 2 charts. One was pre-morning when the market was setting up for a nice rally, and the other was GM's, talking about how we covered it last night, and it continues to work. So I think that basically where I'm getting at is, I think it's something that's going to be worth your time, and I want you to check it out, and I want you to take advantage of what I'm giving at a very, very cheap price. So anyways, guys, you have a good night. I'm getting this out early because I have a few other things I got to get done, but I hope this helps. Look for, we see our point of control at the top of the range on the S&P. Look for a little bit of selling into tomorrow, but I don't think that means that you should flatten out. Stay involved to the long side. It looks like this market wants to go higher, even with all the global geopolitical risks. this market is poised for more upside. I think people are really underinvested, and they're going to have to put that money to work sooner or later, and it could push this market another 50 S&P points higher. So, good night, guys.